All right, looks like we are live for the drop. Let's see. Got about another 14 minutes till the big time. We've been actually working on this drop for a number of months. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I was going to throw this into the channel. Wow, it's showing me playback on the thing. It's cool. Oh, for the big drop, 13 minutes. Might as well put the link back in there again for posterity. Posterity. That is how you say that word. Posterity. At least it's how I say it. And I know I wish I'd made more videos lately, but I was working on some projects for Blockchain Kingdoms, Metasource. There's also something I've been working on I wanted to show you guys today, but just didn't work out. Ran into too many technical things that were required to get the drop up. Took a little bit more time to get the drop onto Neftyblocks than I thought it would. And that kind of took me away from being able to do that other stuff. And so now Josh, my business partner, and I are talking about what's going to come next after this. So I don't know when we'll be able to show you guys some of the new cool stuff I'm working on, but it's coming out. So I'm now on YouTube for 12 minutes. Cool. Let's see. Let me check out the chat. Devi Metal says, "Howdy, Captain. Big moment. It is a big moment. Fuzzy Super Pie, good to see you. Massive movement. Yeah, not in the nether regions, but yeah, you know what I mean. That other kind of massive movement is coming. Pretty exciting. Pretty exciting. Yeah, I have not gotten a whole lot of sleep the last day or two, not from anxiety, just from working." Just from lots and lots of working. There were lots of things to do. Since we're still a pretty small company, I've been in charge of the marketing, in charge of the technical things and getting the blockchain stuff up. We have a development team that Photon Tech, who develops our website as well as our blockchain stuff. So they've been working on things, but me, I've been doing all these other things, the marketing. I've also been working on that little side project. Not sure when you guys will see it because we basically had some time before the drop where the production team, which includes me and Mark, our creative director, and his wife Shay, we had a little bit of time while Photon Tech was developing stuff. And Josh was sick for a while, so I took advantage of working on a side project, and I don't not sure when you guys are going to see it, but so next week's going to be pretty crazy. After the drop, in 10 minutes we are going to kind of do a whole plan of the company, scale up a bit, really work on that investing, getting the investments that we've been talking about for a very long time, opening it up for crowdfund for our community members who have been waiting to invest in Blockchain Kingdoms for a while. And so that's probably going to be the next week. We're going to crunch that stuff out. But after that, I'll probably start to jump back into that side project again, and hopefully you guys will see something for it. So today's drop is going to be the Metasource cards. I think I can, let's see, share my screen here. I'm using StreamYard for the first time. All right, so let's see. Just double checking a couple of things. Dings. All right. Yeah. So let's see. Oh, that doesn't share. Share video file. Share screen. Share screen. Sharing is easiest to monitors. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, I can just share one of the tabs. Which one do I want to do? Neftyblocks. Let's share Neftyblocks tab. All right, cool. Let me go back over here, make sure that's playing. Ah, cool. Oh, look, it even like puts me over to the side. That is so cool. Cool. So this is the drop. We have a whitelist here and drops in 8 minutes. So there's going to be, let's see. So there are 27 claims on the fantasy for the whitelist. Basically, for some reason, you can't have the whitelist and the public cell share the same pool of cards. So we kind of had pull 27 aside for the whitelist, and then the rest, I think it's 81 is for the public cell. So that's how we kind of divided it up. Majority we decided to leave for the public cell, and so you'll be able to claim one every 5 minutes. Looking back at it, I kind of wish I'd done it a little bit differently, like maybe 5 minutes before, give you 5 minutes and then claim like every 2.5 minutes instead of sitting there for an extra 5 minutes. But I stuck to what we said. We said we're going to give you a 10-minute head start, so that's what we've done. And then we have the public cell here, which you'll actually be able to claim 3 packs inside of 30 seconds. The math-wise just seemed like the best way to do it to me, so that's how we decided to do it. So that happens in about 6 minutes and 40 seconds. So these cards include all of the packs that have not been sold yet from our stores. We had a store that was up, and this is, most people don't know this, TrueStardyStudios.com is like the first website I made for us. So this is actually kind of old. Instead of bothering our website team with this, I decided to just throw it together on the old website. So you can see all of the cards that we've made. We've been making these cards for almost like 10 months now. Yeah. So we've been making these cards for 10 months now. Starting from the January 4th of this year into September 29th, and it'll go on. It'll continue on, I think probably at least for a couple of years. We haven't decided on a maximum supply, but every year there's going to be 25% less cards that we distribute up until, there's only one card made per a week. So right now we do create 20 cards a week. And each of those is basically going to have a faction attached. And there's only going to be 52 factions for each type, which means that if you bought a faction this year, which gives you earning bonuses, if you collect the same factions and the same types, you get stacking earning bonuses for having the same type and or faction. So you get more of the Metasource earnings to be used in Metasource games. So they're kind of like nodes in a way-ish, kind of, but like really more collectible-ified. And because they're very passive and not everything in our, let me tell you guys, one of the biggest reasons that you might want a Metasource card is because right now they are one of the few cards in the entire Metasource ecosystem, because we're going to build out multiple games. Our vision has many games sharing at least like 3 or 4 core resources across multiple games. So you have like Crypto Castles, which we're going to be releasing a beta for by the end of the year, and so that is going to be using some core resources that will actually be able to use in other games, like the Metasource tokens. Another one we're playing around with is like a supply, basically kind of like a base material thing to be used for making constructions and things like that, building buildings, and Crypto Castles, building a library for research, or building a caravan to build more supply, or using supply for something like this brings me to the next topic, which is why Metasource cards are important for the same topic, is that the Metasource cards are probably the only thing in the whole ecosystem, possibly, that doesn't require some kind of maintenance. Now, it's probably going to be true for everything, but especially in the early days, some things are probably going to require some kind of maintenance in order to get the maximum amount out of them. I believe in, maintenance is in the real world everywhere. It's it's entropy is one of the things that creates value. If you get a broken pipe at home in your real world, well, then you got to hire a plumber to go and fix that. And that creates value for the plumber because he needs something to fix and he needs money, and you needed something fixed. And so you needed the materials for the plumbing, you needed the service for the plumbing. So, we've seen this work really well for some games, like Farmer's World. And so we're going to replicate those in this game where there's going to be some sort of either kind of maintenance or, some kind of entropy in order to have the economy have needs and demands. So we're going to show that across games, and we think it's going to be much better than having many multiple games like we do now on Wax, where they all have enclosed ecosystems that allow us to branch into new kinds of genres and things like that, and it'll be cool. So we got 3 more minutes in that drop. Don't want to miss it. So let me go ahead, go back into here. Make us big for the moment. I know people have probably been chatting, but I've been talking. Let's see. Tyler Bauer says side project. Now you've piqued my interest. Did I say that before? But yeah, I'm excited for it. All I can say is no one's going to see this coming. No, it's not like a massive MMO. It's not directly related to the 5 versus 5. What I can say is that it's unlike anything else in Wax, and it's going to be surprising. Most people will not have seen this coming, and I will give you one last kind of fun bit, which is pretty much only I could have made this for personal reasons, and you guys will see why. And no, it's not like Robert Trusardi's Wild Ride of Fun. Well, not exactly. But Reb, good to see you, Reb. So good to see this project get to stage. Thank you. And Fuzzy Super Pie says, Trev, been waiting for this since the beginning of the year, since when I bought my first cards. Thank you. I was thinking I wanted to, at least buy like a Cyberpunk pack or something at this drop, but I've been rushing, and a lot of my liquid crypto right now that I have easy access to is really tied up in the Wax, because I had to stake, like, I don't know how much money I had to stake into Wax right now. I think it's almost like 2,500 Wax just in order to be able to do all the cards. You guys do not believe the amount of CPU making these drops can be when you have a lot of packs. We also had to buy, I think, almost like $2,500 in Nefty just to create the block, just to create the pack. Apparently that just changed. Like, we just had to start doing that maybe a month ago or something, or maybe earlier this month. I was like, well, okay. So a lot of my crypto went into that. So let's go ahead, switch into the screen again. Oh, wait, how do I go into, it says remove. I don't want to remove it. I just want to go to it. Oh, no, wait. Is it this? Oh, it's this. Oh, no. How about that? There we go. Cool. All right. So let's go back into. I think I just realized I'm trying to show you guys the full list of cards. It wasn't showing you guys that. It will. So after you get your packs, you can go down here to packs over on the left side of the screen, and this is where you'll be able to open your pack. Cool. So here we go. Let's see. So cool. So the drop has happened. We have now sold 2 packs. I should have said earlier that, my hope is obviously that we sell out of the packs. I don't know what's going to happen, but that's my hope. We're going to have these ads running for the next 24 hours about that. And if we don't sell out of the packs, well, then I don't know. We actually haven't put a plan in place for that yet. But I'll talk to Josh, and we'll see what we'll do. We'll probably just leave these up. That is the plan so far. Let's see. It is the first minute. I guess I'm too used to like doing all the big drops, all those big drops where everything goes so insanely fast. If you're not sold out in a couple of seconds, it's like, what happened? What happened? People seem to like the fantasy pack. I hope everybody's on the whitelist can find the whitelist link. So we had about 500 and I think it was like 560 people on the whitelist, I think. And really, I don't know how many of those are going to convert into sales. No one has bought a space opera pack, which is a favorite of one of our users. That's why there's only 21 of those left instead of 27 like the other ones. Cyberpunk is personally my favorite. It is personally my favorite. Let's go into the stream. Justin Lacey says, just picked up another pack here, Robert. Can't wait to see how this all goes. Thank you so much. Debbie Metal says, all my cards are fantasy. Good strategy. I think collecting same types and factions, very smart idea. Malice Guy got his fantasy pack. Awesome. Thank you for your purchase. Let's see. Cyberpunk. Buy more Cyberpunk because I like Cyberpunk. I like to see the Cyberpunk ones doing well. Makes me happy. So Metaverse is the sort of like it is kind of the superhero type that we have, but it's also like everything, including the kitchen sink. So anything that is horror, anything that is say just like anything that we can't fit into a particular, either we can't fit into fantasy, cyberpunk, or space opera, kind of like specifically, like it's very space opera-y or it's very fantasy, anything that's not quite that, we like to put into the Metaverse packs. That's what we like. So no one has bought a space opera pack. So I know one of our users who's going to really like that. It's going to be more for him. And our staking is going to come at the end of this month. And Crypto Castles is going to be coming. The beta for that is going to be coming later on in the year. Let's go back into chat. Tyler Bauer says he knows he's on the whitelist, but ended up buying a card before the shop went offline, so can't buy one during the drop. But he's excited to see how well this drop goes. Thank you very much. Thank you. We did try to market as much as we could. We had ads on Nefty drops, as well as Nova Rally a couple of times. So altogether, we bought about 130 hours of ads. So as time goes on, even if we don't sell out of these cards, then what we're going to do is we're just going to keep building. The staking is going to go live, and then we're going to keep promoting Crypto Castles. So Crypto Castles, I'm extremely excited for. It's going to be super, super awesome. Reb says, I missed the whitelist, but I'm waiting for the public sale. Hope there's fantasy left because that is my favorite too. My friend loves Metaverse cards, to each their own, I guess. Yeah. I think that was kind of the point of them was I do, knowing people like different things, like let's kind of create these 4 different genres. Cyberpunk's my favorite. So if I was a buyer, I'd be shooting straight for the Cyberpunks. And Matthew Natoli says, hey, Robert, got my pack. Looking forward to stacking. Thank you so much, Matthew. I appreciate it. Yeah. Yeah, people seem to like the fantasies. It's the ones that we're selling the most of. Oh, people are buying the Cyberpunks. I love it when people buy Cyberpunk. Metaverse 2 of 7. It'll be curious to find out how many buyers we have on the whitelist versus the non-whitelist. It'll be interesting. Yeah, we haven't sold any on the whitelist Space Opera pack yet. So if we don't sell out of the whitelisting ones, well, then eventually those will come offline, and then we'll probably put those then into the public sales for those cards. Mm-hmm. Oh, you guys can't see my screen again because I'm not sharing it. Let's see. Halfie says, I have 4 Cyberpunk and 4 of the Metaverse. Nice. You collected 4 of each. Bought 2 packs of those types. Nice. Nice. You had some from before. Fuzzy Fuzzy says, don't go against the king. Don't go against the king. Oh, there we go. There's. So let me check like our collection wham. Let's see. So make sure that there's plenty of, yeah, I think we got plenty of RAM, because I know sometimes like I go into a drop, and then what happens is we you basically run out of RAM or something on the collection, and then you can't do anything. So I've been watching it to make sure that that doesn't happen. Yeah, it looks like we got plenty put in here for those mintings. Yep. Well, if you guys open those packs, let us know what you got. Everybody is going to get a Royal Baron from the Crypto Castles collection. We think those are going to be very, very highly valuable cards. They're really kind of critical to the whole ecosystem of Crypto Castles. Let's see, Helvey says, go buy Space Opera and sell it to Nickman for a fortune. That's funny. See, oh, we did. Someone sold someone bought a Space Opera pack. Nice. Nice. So that's about 12,500 wax in sales so far. And as I've said before, Josh and I are hoping to sell out on this. Hopefully we did the work to sell out by the end of the day. We'll see. Those ads will be running all day. We've done our best to promote and get involved in all the other communities that are out there. And if we don't sell it today, well, then we'll just hit the ground and, do more marketing, do more connecting with other people, because, those packs will still be available. So we got a countdown here, 26 seconds on the public sell. And then anybody can get on that who wasn't on the whitelist. I also have people that I never sent out a newsletter. I mean, I really wish I had the time to do it. Maybe I could have done it if I had prepared a newsletter like a week ago. That would have worked out, but it didn't. But that's all right. Let's see. So we'll see if there's anybody out there waiting for the public sale. See, Helpy says, go buy Space Opera. So, wait, I already said that. So what are all the missing NFTs? Not sure what you mean by missing, Tyler. What do you mean by missing NFTs? W Metal says, Nickman must be asleep, LOL. Oh, the missing NFTs, like ones that were not in the packs, those are cards people bought from the store. Is that what you mean, Tyler? Let's go back. So So we've sold just a couple of ones on the public sale. Nobody's bought a fantasy pack yet. Kind of fantasy from the public sale. Kind of surprised. So I kind of look at it and I'm like, oh, can I tell like the exact popularity of a pack just by just by like what people are buying? And I'm not sure if I can. Now, specifically with Space Opera, that was what one of our users decided to pick, and that was going to be his. And I think Cyberpunk was definitely the least popular, and if you're someone who really wants to collect for the long haul, then they're going to be looking at that as well. That's my opportunity, because if people are going to buy less of that, well, then that means that they might see that as having less demand. You can buy it more at the core price. Yeah, but thinking about it, we are going to switch over the pricing of these to 150 for Metasource card and 250 for a Royal Baron. So by the time we get to that next drop, what we'll most likely do is pull all of these off the market, and whatever the Metasource cards were left, and whatever barons were left, instead we would put those into the supply at the higher price point, because as we release our systems, those are going to become the value for those, we think, is going to be much highly perceived, much higher. Cyberpunk ones are least popular. Interesting. I suppose it's good to have 10 of them already. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Let's see. When you go to my NFTs, there's a section for missing ones. My NFT section for missing ones. I don't think I know what you mean. Maybe if you're in Discord, you can take a picture and send it to me. Oh, wait. Is it in blending or claims? Has anybody opened a pack yet? Everyone is just holding on to their very pretty cards. Is that the case? Maybe it may be the case. Let's see here. Let's see. Neftyblocks section called My NFTs, card sign called Missing NFTs. Oh, missing. Those are that missing basically means that my experience, it means it's something that hasn't been claimed yet, and you can claim those. I don't know, wait. I actually don't know why these are here. I can see them in my primary wallet. So weird. Usually nothing shows up for me under here for things, so I don't know why they're showing up. Don't know. Can't do anything with those. I actually don't know what those are. This is a card that someone hasn't claimed yet. They bought it I think it was, yeah, someone bought this from the store. Need to reach out to them again. I haven't heard back from them. Don't know why. Don't know why I haven't heard from them. All right, so we've sold about 3 fantasy packs. I haven't sold any Metaverse packs yet on the public drop. 2 sold on the Space Opera packs and 3 on the Cyberpunk packs. Cool. Let's see. Oh, that section lets you see what you are missing in any given collection. Huh. Well, that's not going to be really useful for us because we've done a lot of burnings and things of cards, and yeah, it's just going to be a big mess in here. I mean, also there's only one of everything, so yeah. And the Royal Barons, yeah, I can see actually I did a bunch of mints of these, and a lot of these aren't even minted; they're just like templates. And as far as I know, you can't delete these templates, so they're just gonna kind of show up here, I guess. Oh, right. It's my packs is where the unclaimed. Oh, I was getting this mixed up. My unclaimed packs is what I thought I was looking at. Yeah, imagine that missing thing just be really super confusing sometimes. Alex McCall just bought 6 more fantasy cards, but I'm sadly out of money. 6 fantasy. Holy crap. Thank you for your purchases, Alex. Appreciate it. And looking forward to the future of your cards, Metasource earnings, crypto castles. Josh and I are going to have a meeting next week about what's next for the company. We're going to have a call tomorrow as well. Super exciting things. Let's see. Yes, Debbie, packs can be opened immediately. So you can go down on the left side of the screen, go down to My Packs. And here you'll be able to buy, you'll be able to open any pack that you have. Let us know what card you get. David Metal says, got a question Discord about how to unpack, how to do it on Nefty. You're probably gonna get this stream video just a couple of seconds late or later. Reb says, do you need a memo deposit to Atomic Hub from Binance? If you have a Wax Cloud wallet, you do not need to have a memo. I actually do use some exchanges for Wax, and sometimes they do ask for a memo in order to go from the Wax Cloud wallet to the exchange. And memos are also used for different things, like sometimes they're commands for doing something. But no, I don't think you should have to have a memo to go from Binance to Atomic Hub. Yeah. Healthy says you need memo only for transferring into exchange, not the other way. Yeah, that's what I've seen for the exchange that I use. It uses a memo for depositing into the exchange, but not for withdrawing. I've been using StreamYard. This is my second time using StreamYard. I like it. It's pretty easy. I can be big like this, like hello. I can just call people up, give them the link, and then it automatically lets us chat. some of you guys know OBS, OBS has been really popular with streamers probably for the last couple of years, but I like this a lot better for a number of things. I did try to put in an animated video at the bottom of the Cyberpunk pack. It looks like I wasn't able to make that work. Number one, just went center right. Number two, I don't think I could give it like a transparency with the video. I don't know if that's possible. Maybe it is, but I'm kind of digging it. We can just go big with the screen. And of course, there's that overlay there. Sorry, and I'm just like playing with my toys. That's so cool. I get to make all this stuff work. Reb says, got it. Thank you. Last time I bought from your website, so I didn't do this process right. Yeah, it is. It is a little bit different. And I've gotten honestly really used to just like swapping the cryptos around and buying things on Wax. It's really easy, and it gets a little addicting. You got all these really great assets you can buy on Wax. All these great games that are very early and growing. And we are so early in this space, it's ridiculous. If you go on to DApp Radar, let's see if we go to DApp Radar. Let's go to like DApp Radar. And we go into, let's see, games. Not just games, but about like, games, DeFi. I think Atomic Hub's probably going to be listed in here. Users, volume, open full rankings. I don't know why that's not more intuitive. Okay. Splinterlands. I guess Atomic Hub's not on there. We'll have to go to rankings. EOS, Ethereum. So we'll go to Wax. Okay. So if you look at this, Alien Worlds, 357,000 users. How many of those do you think are bots? Probably an insane amount. Farmer's World now has 46K. That's quite a lot. Bet some of those are bots too. Our Planet, about 5,000. They have a hint today, so that's probably a little bit more than usual. Prospectors come 3,000. And I don't think I see Atomic Hub on here. Where's Nova Rally? Nova Rally is a favorite of mine. It's very easy to play. Is it not? Oh, there it is. It's 6, so about 1,000 users. But really, like, look how few people are playing these games right now. Like, we're insanely early in this space. Like, it is just growing. I was just talking to our artist yesterday, and he said that he is now also working inside a blockchain for people creating artwork. And he said it's like they're very hungry for it. And his exact words, I want a piece of him right now. Let's see. I wanted to see like exchanges. I think there's only about 20,000 users at the peak of the weekend during the drop for Farmers World. That was, I think, 20,000 users. I wish I had like, where's it? Oh, exchanges. Here we go. Exchanges. Wax. Alcor. Oh, that's not the right one. Even Alcor says only 5,000. 5,000 users. All right, this is probably where marketplaces. Here we go. This is where we're going to find Atomic Hub, which is the biggest of Wax. So traders about 11,000. 11,000 today, and it was about 20,000 over the weekend during the peak. Where they had like some biggest sells they had the longest string. Last week was a pretty big week for Atomic Hub. Reb says he got his fantasy pack and he got Lady Veronica 4. I know that one. And that's Shay Sora card, I believe. She made that. That is our creative director's significant other. Debbie, oh, let's see. Oh, we had some more chatting going on. I missed. Malice Guy got beautiful Warden Raylin 3. Yeah, I like Warden Raylin. Kind of a elvish, kind of like an elvish warrior kind of person. He has a bow, I think. Let's see. So Debbie says, someone asking how long the sale will go on for. Can we confirm a minimum amount of time, assuming availability? The whitelist the whitelist part will probably come down soonish. I mean, I imagine in a day, a couple of days. We'll probably just be whenever I get to it. I'll just take down the whitelist and all of those. Those will probably kind of go to the side for a little while, that supply. And then the public sale, I need to talk to Josh about that. It may be until, at the very longest, it will be up until the end of this month or whenever we decide to drop the next cycle. So there's going to be a cycle of 80 cards coming for the Metasource cards, and we'll also be dropping a cycle of 80 of the Barons. So those so whenever we move on to that cycle is when we will remove the limited edition packs, because limited edition packs are selling for $199, and later a Metasource card will be $150 and a Royal Baron will be $250 each. So when we move into that cycle, we will be taking all of the limited edition packs offline. We have an article about that on our Medium. So yeah, so availability up until, so can you guys hear that? There's like water running. Availability up until the next cycle, which I think is going to be either the end of this month or the very beginning of next month. Because we're in October now, so the latest you'll be able to get these packs is probably the first week of November. And then they will be all gone. We will essentially rearrange those into packs, the standard packs, basically. So you will no longer get a Royal Baron in the packs. That's yeah, good question. Pretty important to know. Let's see. I'll make sure you guys were seeing. Yeah, so you guys were seeing that screen there. Let's go back to Neftyblocks. Neftyblocks. Cool. So we've sold, I think, like 1 or 2 more fantasy packs there, it looks like. All right. Well, it looks like I got to do way more marketing. These are moving a little bit slower than I thought they would. So that's my responsibility as, you know, the chief marketer of the company at the moment, as well as the CEO. But yeah, I think when we have our stakings come live at the end of the month, that's going to be it's actually going to be a pretty big promotional push, because we get the stakings going live at the same time that the limited edition packs will be coming offline. So yeah, that's going to happen simultaneously when we look at the schedule now, since so the end of this October, when we get those stakings going, you know, we'll do another marketing push. And then, you know, we'll probably do like a last chance ad campaign for getting those packs. And then simultaneously, you'll be getting the stakings at the same time. So ideally, we'll get the stakings going live first, so you guys can stake your cards, start earning, and trade them on Alcor. And then simultaneously push a last chance for these cards, last chance to get the limited edition packs. I mean, heck, you guys are getting a Metasource card and a Royal card in one pack right now, and later there will be 2 separate packs. Total value was it $500? Yeah, so it's kind of like a $300 discount on these packs right now. Did I do my math right? Let me double check. Like I've been up way too late. No, I did my math wrong. It was 400. So 400 Wait, so 400 minus 200 is a $200 discount. Whew, I'm working too late, too hard, looking at too many blockchains. You guys have no idea like how hard it was to get these cards in here. Like I thought it was going to be easy. I had done 90% of the process a couple of days ago, and then I went in to do it. And I was like, okay, like I've done 90% of the process. I know how to do this. And then I went in there and said, oh no, you can't do that. You can't put you have to use a card pack with, you have to use infinite supplies in order to use this tool. And I was all like, what? I'm like, oh, so I have to pre-mint them now. What does pre-minting mean? Pre-minting means I have to create all of these cards and then first mint them out into like the wallet, and then you go and you stick them back into the packs. Like literally, you're like, have you guys ever tried to fill up a bathtub with like a teacup or something? It's kind of like that. It's like, oh, I minted some. Okay, put into the blockchain. Minted some. Put in the blockchain. Minted some. Put into the blockchain. And since, especially because we had to mint one individual one of each, we couldn't just mint like 10 at a time like a lot of people do, because there's a 10 limit even on infinite supply. So all the barons had mint 10 at a time, and each of the Metasource cards had mint 1 at a time. And that's not including all the time I spent inputting the cards manually, putting in all the metadata and tags. And in the future, we'll have someone else do that stuff. Just considering our size, we decided that it's better for me to do it. Better for me to do it. Fuzzy says 10% takes 90% of the time. That's exactly what it felt like. It was like 10% was taking 90% of the time. We have some ambient noise going on here in the background. Well, do you guys have any questions for me in terms of like what's going on, what's coming? Obviously, you can only see so much about certain things. Yeah, I think see Sammy's snake stream, all he ever does is like answer questions. Like I don't do that enough, although we're probably a little bit smaller at the moment. So we got about 8 people in the stream. No questions? No questions? So how am I feeling about the drop so far? Well, I was, I was hoping for more sales as of this moment. We got the YouTube channel. We've had the ads out. We have some presence in a couple of spaces. And so I was expecting us to sell a little more packs so far. But again, we do have a large part of the day to go. And I do kind of believe that there is a mindset around the scarcity of packs. The more packs you sell, the more people rush out to go buy them. They're like, oh, there's only so many of these, I have to get them now. So, so we have a drop like this and it comes out and not everything's selling out immediately. It starts to sell out probably a lot slower. We also saw it with, Million on Mars Land Rush, which I'm a fan of. I have a couple of lands in there, and, and I think it's, created by an established developer from Zynga, and but they didn't do any marketing before they did their launch. They didn't do an ad campaign, so nobody really knew about them. So they were selling their packs fairly slowish in terms of their weight, in terms of like you were looking at it like boxing, in terms of like their weight, they really weren't selling a bunch. And I think that's because they had kind of that low visibility start that, and they also have a bunch of those lands that they're selling, but you can kind of see that, like, if you kind of get a slow start, it can be harder to sell. But if you can get to the point where you can sell out of like 60% of your packs, well, then you're looking at probably selling out in the same day. I would say I mean, just be realistic. Doesn't look like we're going to sell out of these packs today. I'm not going to kind of hide behind my chair and try to make this look like something it isn't. But the value of these cards is still great. We're building our systems. If anything, this just makes it more important to me that our systems get up as fast as possible, because then we can start providing value to people. I think the NFT gaming space, if I can just share more of my thoughts, let me check the chat real quick. He's like, where's the 400 people whitelisted at, right? It's the 560. Yeah, I guess not everybody, I guess not everybody on the whitelist actually wants to go and buy them. Let's see. Fuzzy says the only answer I want is, what is the side project? Well, the answer is out there. I told you that if you guys help us figure this out, there's a sequence of 3 letters out there, and we've exposed you guys to these 3 letters. It's out there in our out there in our socials and things, and these 3 letters right now are pretty well hidden, I would say, and in fact I'm kind of surprised no one's actually caught on to it so far. So that side project has a hint out there. If you can tell us what those 3 letters are, you're probably not going to figure it out off the top of your head, because the context is important. We're kind of looking for the right answer, but whoever discovers that will get $250 in wax. I think I might have said I was going to give them a pack, but I think I'm just going to give you guys wax for finding that, because then you can go get what you want, even though we have a lot of packs. Or maybe let it be your choice if you want a pack or 250 wax. I mean, the packs are $199 right now. So anyways, that answer is out there, and these 3 letters start the journey. We do have some things loaded for this side project already, if anybody finds it. Let's see. Solly Comeback says, hey, saw your video, bought one. You think you just bought. Well, thank you, Solly. And Malice says, thank you, Fuzzy Super Pie. Now to hodl and collect the Azas. Collect the Azas. Gosh, what was I talking about? Oh, the NFT gaming space is in a weird place right now. Let me show you guys. We just leave this real quick. Let's go to Star Atlas. The Star Atlas. Skybacteria, Pierce 4. So this just started selling today. It is a medium fighter for Star Atlas, and I was like, well, I can't go buy this. So sad, too bad, right now. But I'm kind of dedicated to the games I'm already in right now, and can't spread myself too thin. So this was released at a price point of $2,200, and it's hardly even selling on the secondary market. There's not even a lot of them. I think 2,200 supply for this, and they're barely selling above markup. So I think what this is kind of representative of right now is that people are mostly jumping into the games right now that are making them profit, or seem to make them profit. One of the reasons that Farmers World got huge on the Atomic Marketplace was because if you do the ROI calculator, you can make, am I not even showing you guys the right screen? Oh, it didn't go into the right pop-up. I'm sorry. Wait, no, not full screen layout. Ugh. Why is it not? Anyways, I don't want to, I feel like I'm talking about too many different things at once right now, so yeah, I didn't get to show you guys the supply of those Star Atlas things, but you compared to the other ships, like they went for way more than that. You know, they were way above that before. And so looking at the NFT gaming space right now, if you look at something like Farmer's World, if you look at like the ROI calculator, looks good. You buy something now, it looks like you're going to turn a pretty decent profit on those tokens in a certain time frame. Now, I think there are some pros and cons to the Farmer's World market. You know, I've always kind of had the issue with Farmer's World that the higher level items command a high multiple. I've said a couple times I thought it was 30 times multiple. I don't think it's that high, but it's been a while since I calculated the exact multiple that they have. But the chainsaws, the excavators, those things that earn you lots, they're really expensive now. But I think what we've seen is a big mad rush for people to try to buy those to get at the top of the ecosystem. But it just goes to show that like what's really selling those right now is the profit. If you look like at a lot of other NFT games right now, not a lot of them are turning over a ton of profit because we've been in this weird space of like really big runs, and then those runs come down again, and so we're in kind of like a super volatile market. Like really early, it's super volatile. It's really easy to find a project that will moon if you're speculating on a project. I mean, obviously, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Our company does not have a cryptocurrency license, so we can't tell you, our stuff is investment. It's up to you whether or not you call your assets investments. You get to speculate freely on your own. But a lot of people like to speculate, and there's been so much money just like dumping into this current space that people keep looking for like, okay, what's the thing that's going to pay me out? So some people have been just buying like art NFTs and doing those, and it's been really popular for that is what is it, the like the auto generating things like the voxes. I don't think CryptoPunks have those, do they? The traits. So things that have rare traits, the Aurori, stuff like that, that's been doing really well because people can play the speculating game, the value game. And so inside of NFT gaming, it's still really much younger. You can do the value speculation game on Farmer's World. You can do it on our planet. Nova Rally, still super young, and he's kind of playing with the systems. And I told him the other day, I was like, dude, you need to give away more driver's manuals for for these things. Like you got like, I don't know, a couple hundred players burning their drivers to race in this game, and then you're only giving like one or two of them a reward. Everybody else is like having to pay massive amounts in gas, the snake oil fees in order to get that reward. And I'm doing it right now just because I believe in Sammy, and I like Sammy, and he's another game developer bro, and he's also super transparent. I like that. And so I just kind of enjoy watching him build. He's a hard worker, one of the hardest workers I've seen consistently. He's always streaming like all the time. And he's always building. He works another job. He works like a day job, and he makes Nova Rally. And he helps other people. Like I asked him some questions the other day, and he was like, went out of his way to help me figure out how to take a snapshot and stuff like that. And so I really like Nova Rally. Bought a driver's manual the other day. Why? Because I guess I believe in the project. So I was like, man, like I got this classic car up to level 55. Boom, let's get him up to the next league. It's a better value than having to buy it off secondary somebody else. It's already got like almost 50 wins, and I think eventually those wins on that car is going to convert into more passive earning token earnings once that feature gets integrated. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that Tillian says people just want profit, they don't want to play. I mean, that's fair. That's fair. One of the reasons I started this company was because I know that both are achievable. So which is why we have, why we're building out our economy for the Metasource the way that we're doing, because I realize that that's where, there are a couple of things. Now again, we're not saying our gaming items are investments or collectibles. We don't own a cryptocurrency license. And if you want to speculate, purely up to whether or not you want to call them investments. I love doing that myself. I love buying these NFTs and speculating. So it's what I like to do personally. But as someone who likes that, I want to create collectibles and game systems that that do that. So if you want to, you want to see the demand for a certain thing go up, I want to see that in our system. Like, why would somebody want X? Do they need Y? Do they need Z? Do they need help from this other person? So there are two big core things that I keep mentioning when it comes to game tokenomics and stuff like that. Number one is that the tokenomics do have to be sound in the long run. You can't be having a terribly bad system, but that gives some people just too much advantage. Number two, people need you need to market, you need to promote, you need to access a bigger market. Now there's a couple of ways to do that. One is actually going out and promoting, doing things. I think Farmers World did a decent job of doing marketing, enough to get them where they are. But also what really worked for Farmers World was it was easy to calculate the demand for things. So the way they have their energy system, durability, the way that certain items are dependent on the others in order to craft things, and the kind of high multiples on some of the higher crafting tools made a lot of people pile in and try to get those tools fast. The reason I didn't buy one of those high multiple tools in the beginning was two things. Number one, I was like, I just kind of had a bit of a crash and burn on D&D. I was kind of, I was hoping that these guys knew what they were doing. And there was a huge run up on it. I didn't take profits out. Instead, I was streaming and kind of felt a little burned on it. And I was like, I'm just going to kind of take my very small profits of a couple $100, where before it was like a profit of like, $10,000 or something. I just watched it crash all the way down. I was like, how did they mess this up so bad? And I looked into it. It was really bad tokenomics. Like their tokenomics on D&D was just, it was horrible. And we didn't know that until they launched the freaking dungeon for everybody, and everybody's just losing money left and right. And we're all like, what's happening? And then they revealed to us that they were taking the lion's share of the fees going into the dungeon to one jackpot winner. Whoever would be the jackpot winner would get the majority of those winnings. So everybody's just basically just like, is worse than a slot machine, the way they designed it. And it's like, oh my gosh, like how could they have screwed that up so bad? Anyways, that's why I didn't get one of those chainsaws, was one of those things higher up. Because number one, I felt kind of burned. Number two, it was because I felt like it's not, and I think that's really not in the spirit of NFT gaming, is to give the people at the very, very top too high of multiples. I think you should give early adopters some kind of advantage, give them a reward, but if it's too high, and so Farmers World, had that when they released their crafting tools and things. So I'm actually involved in, I'm actually have assets in Farmers World now. But that's because two things. Number one, I like their animal system. It seems really interesting. So I actually legitimately want to play it. Number two, I think I could learn a lot from it. I mean, I could potentially profit from it. I don't know, because I think there's a possibility that their market economy crashes. But I think there's a possibility it doesn't with animal expansion, because it's more now than just like wood and gold and other things like that. Now they've kind of expanded it more. And I think what's going to come next is land and expansions for Farmers World. So anyways, these are, we got 5 viewers left. So I guess I'm losing you guys like flies, but these are kind of light of my thoughts when it comes to these games. What do people want? And my mission as someone who's building an NFT gaming company is I know what I want from these things. I think I know what you guys want too. So my mission is to give you guys what you want when it comes to NFT gaming, which is, to have consistent value scale of your NFT collectibles, have the demand for your collectibles be of a consistent scale, and to market, promote, and to have satisfaction with these NFTs and the gamings. And I think we can have it all. It's just a matter of building it. And it may take some time. Again, we're at the very beginning of this, and I just had, my first face-to-face experience with like, the back end drop systems. It was like so many times I was like, wow, like it should be easy to do this and that and have that happen. But instead, it's not how it worked out. I kept going, why can't I do that? Why can't I do this? Why do I have to do this that way? The whitelist, like the whitelist, I spent almost an hour and a half trying to get the whitelist to work because people had put in, either the wrong names or something, and apparently it couldn't work with duplicates. Like it didn't know to parse out the duplicates. I don't know why. It kept telling me, oh, that's a duplicate thing, and I'm just like, is there no API layer in the middle that can just like get rid of the duplicates for me while I put it in? Like, I don't understand. Like, why can't it? Maybe it's not possible with, that blockchain API. Maybe there is no between layer that can parse that out, but it seems like there should be. Update the smart contractors. I don't know. I don't get why it has to be so hard. And Yield Squad says their ship pricing, LOL. Yeah. They're pretty expensive, but I think for their supply, for what that game is going to be, I think they're possibly more valuable. Like I was saying before, like a lot of people, they're looking for, the profit. So, looking at Star Atlas, those really haven't moved in a while. They're supposed to allow you to earn Atlas from a gaming system coming out in a couple of weeks or so, but who knows? Marley Roberts, aloha. How have you been? Hey, aloha, Marley Roberts. I'm actually half Hawaiian. My middle name is Kaneo Puni. It means like great warrior. I think my grandma said warrior of the universe. It sounds a little like, I don't know, that's like a lot of responsibility. Warrior of the universe there. I think it's also a Polynesian name. But mine is specifically, Hawaiian, at least the way it's spelled. Yield Squad, beautiful game, but huge investment. Ask up front for no gameplay demonstration. I guess he means Star Atlas. Healthy also said Star Atlas did a great drop recently of some character poster holders. In characters or like buildings and stuff. I mean, they dropped... what is it? Clothes. They dropped clothes, some things like that. Marley says, used to work at a Hawaiian swim school. Oh, nice. Hawaiian swim school meaning like they taught them how to swim the Hawaiian way? Or not sure if that's what you mean. I'm going to take a look at Metasource. We've got a couple of packs on here right now. No one's put any of the redeemables up yet. But yeah, I mean, there's a $200 discount on packs right now because at the end of the month, we're going to raise the prices, take some of these out, stick them into new packs. And, we're just going to keep steadily building. And we think that these are, the price is right here. So let's see. Let's see. So notice the drop on the homepage says good to go. Didn't notice that. Cool. So not much sell action currently on the page from earlier today. So we're going to pull off. So what's going to happen with the packs is we're going to remove the whitelisting supply probably, I don't know, within the next day or two, whenever I decide to do it. And then that supply will basically kind of be put off to the side for a while until we see how much we're going to sell on the available packs. They'll be linked onto the main homepage for a while. We're either going to keep the drop link up there, or we're going to change the what it says on the drop link. But that will be up until the next cycle. So in the next cycle, a couple of things are going to happen at once. We're going to get the stakings live at the end of October, and then we're also going to get the next cycle of cards, which means that the next 80 cards that we're putting on the sorry, my dad's gonna staying with family up in the mountains while I've been focusing on work. It's been really nice because I've been living in LA on my own for as long as I can remember. And so so these things are going to happen at the same time, and then we're going to take all of the packs that are currently haven't been claimed, haven't been purchased. We're going to take them off for the limited editions. We're going to put up the standard packs where it's $150 for a Metasource pack, and also a minstrel pack with 3 lands in them. Atomic Hub. What about Atomic Hub? Not sure what you mean. Said Atomic Hub dropping on that platform. I don't know if we'll drop on Atomic Hub because from what I could tell, they the drop tools for pre-minting, which is what we do. We basically pre-mint each of our cards. There's not a lot of smart contracts available for us to do these on. Basically, we got like Atomic Hub, use their smart contract, but I think they require like an infinite supply and Neftyblocks where we can use a pre-minted thing. And we had to buy like almost $2,500 worth of nifty blockchain tokens just in order to use that feature because we needed the feature. They had it, so we used it. So yeah, unless Atomic Hub adds more features, I wish Atomic Hub would add more features. They just for their size and probably for how well they do financially, I would think that they would have more features, but who knows? Maybe there'll be an overhaul coming soon for Atomic Hub and they'll have all kinds of real cool new features. But I was even just looking at their drop tools to see if maybe I had to use their drop tools on the back end, use their smart contracts and go into the back there and just put in like the little command line stuff. And when I looked at that, I was like, I wish it was documented better. Like, like I had, okay, so you explained this part, but you didn't explain this part. And a lot of the Wax blockchain, even on Neftyblocks, is kind of like that right now. There's not a lot of, and our developers have said the same thing to us because we have people developing our staking contract, and they've told us that they don't think that the Wax blockchain is very well documented right now. So that I think this kind of slows down the development of everybody, unfortunately. But it's functional, it works, it's low cost compared to Ethereum and some other options. Marley Roberts says, yeah, NFT was supposed to be helpful, but it feels a downside since some features are locked behind staking or buying NFT tokens. Kind of pay to use. Yeah. And we kind of just missed the deadline on that because we were posting these packs. And I was actually really surprised that I had to buy a bunch of these tokens. And of course, when I have to buy 25,000 of those tokens all at the same time, I pay some of those. I have to pay like, a higher price for like 50% on some of those tokens than the price right now. It's kind of like, hey, well, all right. I appreciate having these tools. That's for sure. But as I find everything in blockchain right now, it's kind of give and take. You guys know, right? Because you're out there looking for games to buy NFTs for, and some of them are like, oh, well, this could be a good deal right now, but then the economy could fall any second because it's on a bull run, or this looks like a really great game, but it's not out yet. We're one of those. Our game's going to be freaking amazing. A ecosystem which is between games using core resources, and we're super excited for that. But it's going to take development. We're still developing these things. It's almost like give and take with everything right now. And Farmers World, another great example of give and take. Luckily, I didn't buy anything at Farmers World that was at its peak. I bought it, I think, fairly reasonable. It was on a run, but still reasonable price for the run. But like their tokens like doubled, and then they doubled again, and then they doubled again, and then I think like after like a crazy tripling or something, then those developers said, oh, you know what, now it's hard for people to enter the game for the market because everything's becoming so expensive. Minimum buy-in now is like $800 to $1,000 in order to get started. So what they did was that they said, hey, like just literally like several days after their last drop, they're like, we're going to do another drop. And so now the market tanks. And that's not the way I would have done it. The way I would have done it was I would have said, hey, so we're going to put in like some kind of like emergency entry item that works inside of the current economic system, but it just starts out lower on the ladder. Instead of what they do is they eat the ladder. They come in and they're like, all right, so let's sell another $1 million, $2 million worth of assets. And it's their game, so they can do that. It's not what we would do. We wouldn't just like say, hey, so yeah, cost of entry is too high, so we're just going to dump more of the same assets and eat more of that ladder on you guys, and essentially bring everything at its current valuation down. That is not what we would do. What we would do is we would say, hey, so we're going to enter some kind of like, new entry item that is at, a lower value scale compared to everything else. So we're not eating the ladder. We're just adding a piece of ladder at the bottom. And it might impact the economy slightly, but it's not, it's not going to basically just go hump, just eat that, half of that ladder and go, ooh, we're going to, take $2 million out of the market there and give it to ourselves because you guys are making too much money. Because that's what Farmers World is doing. And, it might sound like a critique, but, it's just not what I would do. Because I'm here to do what I think you guys want. And that's the point of, the systems we're designing in the games. Fuzzy Super Pie says, Breeder says the documentation on Wax is old and done badly. Yeah. I'm not a developer. I'm not like a programmer. I am a developer, but I'm not like a programmer. So I've only done like, vague looking over the smart contracts just to see, should I do this on my own? I have enough technical expertise. I used to program HTML and stuff. I, played around with a little bit of programming now and then, but definitely not what I would call a career professional programmer. I'm mainly a developer, manager, creative. But yeah, definitely wasn't awesome. It was kind of like, I'm pretty sure leaving out a couple of parts here because this doesn't cover this part and that part. And I know there's this part and that part because I went and I saw a video that had two different parts that this piece of documentation is not covering in order to get the thing done that they're talking about. It's like, I don't know what it is. Lazy or early, or they did it before the later stuff was added. I don't know. Marley Roberts says, how would you put value into an NFT that has unlimited supply for your game, hypothetically? Let me see if I can understand what you're asking me. So how would you put value into an NFT that has unlimited supply? Well, I feel like I kind of need to know the context that you're talking about, because every NFT is going to be based or valued in a different way for what it does. Whatever its form or function is, it's going to be valued differently. If it has an infinite supply, there's plenty of ways to give that NFT value. You can make it the only NFT that does a thing, or a limited amount of NFTs that do a thing. Like the Royal Barons, we only release so many. There is a set supply for the Royal Barons as well as the Metasource cards. We're not going to produce any more than what we're already selling. And the reason we're selling them at these high price points is because eventually we're going to get the usability, which is going to add value to them and increase their demand. That's how we see it. Whether or not it increases their demand is entirely up to the market, and that's a matter of us finding product market fit. And we think we do have it. We're just, putting in the systems to meet it. So Marley Robert says, let's say a Metasource card. If you had to make an infinite supply, how would you create a standard ask bid? I was just thinking, I wonder if I could show you guys the chat. There must be a way to share you guys. Oh, private chat settings. Maybe I'll have to look at this for next time. But I know there must be a way to put this chat on the side of the screen. So Marley Robert says, let's say a Metasource card, if you had to make an infinite supply, how would you create a standard ask bid for it? Well, I don't think my first thought is it's not wise to just make something and then give it infinite supply without some kind of systems in place. Our castles in crypto castles may have an infinite supply, but most likely they're going to cost more to create the more there are out there in the world. So in tokens, and depending on the token value, could be more expensive in USD. So if you create, so that's a good example of something that is infinite supply and has value, but it's because it costs resources in order to construct a castle, and the more that are built, the higher the resource cost becomes. So that's kind of a good example of that. You really can't just, I really don't see just having an infinite supply of something and then selling it straight out. You can't say, hey, we're going to sell these for $1 each forever, and then expect that to go up in value, because it won't, because you're always going to have a base floor of $1. But you can do these things like what are sometimes called token bonding curves, where the price goes up. Either the more there are in supply, that the more expensive they are. Gala Nodes does that. Plenty of things do that. So hopefully that answers your question. If you have an infinite supply of something, a battle pass. What do you mean, like a battle pass? I don't know of any. Are there battle passes that have infinite supplies? I think it's okay for a whitelisting thing to have infinite supply. But because whitelist, it's all about, did you know about the project early? Have you been supporting it? Or are you just showing up and you kind of missed the early supporter or early bird pass, and then you have to wait for everybody else to get their turn first? Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean by battle pass. All right, well, you can go ahead and let me know what you mean by battle pass, and then I'll work on shutting down the chat here pretty soon, or shutting down the stream, and then I'll head back into the Blockchain Kingdoms Discord and kind of catch up with what's going on there. Accidentally moved channel around. That was not what I wanted to do. All right. Well, I appreciate everybody joining me today and for the drop. And thank you for asking your questions. And, we're building. And we're excited for the end of the month, October, for the Metasource Card stakings. And then right immediately after that will be the Royal Baron land drops. And then end of the year will be the Crypto Castles beta. So thank you everybody so much for joining us, and like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.